Well, hey there, GraceQuest. This is the second part of my installment on the questions you guys asked me. The last YouTube video I put up just kind of talked about what we were doing. You guys asked a lot of questions. Here they are, actually. 5 full pages of them. So, I had a hard time trying to decide what I was going to do. So what I did actually is I kind of organized them. You got theology questions, you got Bible questions. Thank you very much, Cade and Junior. I will probably lose my job trying to answer those. You got practical life questions, and then you got questions that I categorized under 8th graders since they won't be here after war cry. So what I thought I would do today is, I think I'll start with the personal questions because they're probably the easiest to answer. And then probably go to the 8th grade questions after that, and then we'll just see what's going to happen after there. At the final banquet this summer, I'm going to announce which questions I'm going to do as part of the series. So, since this is the very first one, here are some of the personal questions you guys asked about me and who I am. And hey, I thought I would just give it to you. So, here we go. The first question I got is, what does the M stand for in your name? That's my middle name. It starts with an M. And then another person asked, where did I get my middle name? Well, my middle name is Mariah, same as the mountain in the Bible. And I actually got it from I actually got it from my mother. Named it because my father wanted me to have that middle name. And it sort of represents the mountain in the Bible where Abraham offered up his son Isaac and God's provision, and God really did do some wonderful provisional work for me relating to my mom and my dad and how all that worked out. This is a question by Stephen. He asked, I was wondering if you were the kid that Mr. Bob Watson's went on Mr. Bob Watson's Sunday school class outing when he lost his wallet, and if basically he lost his wallet on a camping trip, and someone apparently in the class said, Mr. Watson, what you did was stupid. And apparently Stephen's dad thinks that was me or my brother. Honestly, Stephen, I have absolutely no idea if that was me or my brother. Now a few more simple questions. Have you ever eaten alligator meat? Yes, I have. I ate it at the beach one time when I was in Florida. I believe it was around the year 2000. It tastes like chewy chicken. What was the worst injury you've ever had? Well, that was actually breaking my collarbone at youth group. Yes, I was wrestling a youth. He lifted me up and realized that I'm a fat man. And so when I fell, he tried to body slam me. He didn't get me all the way around, and I landed on my shoulder and popped it. Actually, I've had a couple other worse injuries. I had an emergency tracheotomy right here. You can see this when I swallow. It was that funky thing. Had a virus attack my throat. They had to poke a hole in my throat to keep me breathing. Sorry. Let's see. What is your shoe size squared and divided by 1/2? That would be 10.5. Why do you always say smoking hot as opposed to something else? Smoking hot wife. That's normally how I refer to my wonderful wife. Probably because there was a preacher that came to chapel one time and he said that about his wife, and I picked it up from him. Have you ever been electrocuted? No. Could I get your sermon notes on how the Genesis points to the cross? Maybe. Well, you can talk to me after the video. Let's see. How long have you worn glasses? I've worn glasses, sitting right here, since I was 15. Basically worn the same prescription until right after college. Then I had to up it, but that's how long I've had them. How many days of your life have you lived? Well, Cade, you can ask your brother. Do you like steak or chicken better? Come on, it's gotta be steak. I always take the opportunity to eat steak. Alright, have you ever broken a toe by stubbing your toe or dropping something on it? No, I don't believe I've ever broken a toe. The only bone I've actually ever broken is my collarbone. Actually I'll answer the last question and come back to this one. What was your GPA in college? I believe my GPA in college was a 3.65. I believe it was 3.78 in my major, which was public relations and communication. But I'm pretty sure it was a 3.65. So that was my GPA. Study hard. It's definitely worth it. And then the last one, how do you choose the leaders or the people on my leadership team? Well, basically it works like this. Some of them are people that I've known for a while. I might go up and ask them, say, hey, I think you might do great helping out with junior high youth. Some of them, I'll put an announcement somewhere. Some of them come up to me and say, hey, could I be on your leadership team? At that point, I sit down, I typically talk with them and ask them some questions about God, life, Bible, what they think about teenagers. And then we talk about time commitments, because it takes actually a lot of time. I don't know if you know this, but your leaders probably average somewhere between 5 and 6 hours a week just helping out with youth groups. So it's a lot of time and effort to do that. We, as a church, we do a background check to make sure we're not allowing people that shouldn't be around teenagers around them, and then they just come. They usually, I usually have a training period that lasts about a day. They don't have to commit until the end of that training period, and then they typically commit. Usually ask them to commit for a year, but oftentimes about halfway through the year I allow them to reevaluate. So that's kind of why there's been a little bit of transition this year a lot. Some of the leaders that started off in the fall transitioned around in December, and then we took on some new leaders at that point in time. But done this for almost 10 years working with leaders, and very, very, very few of them have ever been anything but a joy to work with. And actually this year's leadership team has been one of my favorites, and I hope you at GraceQuest have enjoyed each and every one of them. So that's basically it for the personal questions. So I'm going to end this video now, and probably next week I will or the week after, depending on how my final schedules work at my seminary, I will put up the next, probably start with some of the 8th grade questions and what they were talking about. A few of them are just simple, silly ones. A couple of them are actually more in-depth. So I hope you enjoyed this installment of PJ's questions, and I will see you in a week or two. Take care.